President Obama is not the first president to speak of America as a work in progress. In the Gettysburg Address, President Lincoln spoke of the great task remaining before us. And despite freeing the slaves, it would be another century before Americans of African descent would get their civil rights. Today, as we remember the man who led the way to making that possible, we also remember just how far we still have to go. 9 on your side's Maggie Vespa shows us why one local group says Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy is still a work in progress.
Half a century after their struggles, their screams, and their strides were seared into America's memory.
Do you want it now? Oh, yes.
69-year-old Ted Warmbrand still refuses to let those memories and melodies be muted.
No more sorrow in this land, no more sorrow in this land. The American Civil Rights Movement, if we want to give it a name, is one of the great chapters of the history of this country.
A longtime local civil rights activist, Warmbrand brings dozens together each month for socially minded sing-alongs.
Oh, Wallace, you never can jail us all.
Each year on Martin Luther King Day, his sessions carry a special tune, showcasing songs central to the civil rights struggle.
Songs are opening up between our hearts and our minds, and they connect us with one another, they connect us with history.
Music has always been a way to move people. It moves the chakras, it moves the energy.
People sang before meetings, they sang on line of marches. Singing was very important and still is important.
Still important, says Warmbrand, since that struggle is not finished. Whether it's a nationwide debate over same-sex rights or a localized fight for Mexican-American studies, Warmbrand says these songs serve a purpose.
These songs have a flexibility. I think if we have them and we internalize them, we keep them around, they'll be useful for whatever comes next.
He adds each battle is perhaps best won when we realize there may be an infinite supply of struggles yet to come.
Marcel Marceau, the mime, used to have one great routine where he was in a little box and he's kind of figuring out how to get out of it, and as soon as he gets out of it, he finds he's in another bigger box, and it's never ending. That's life.
And Warmbrand says there is debate as to the actual words of some of these songs, since many of them weren't ever written down. Still, he says it's vital these pieces of history are maintained.
It would seem there would have to be an official record.
And there is. There are a lot of these songs recorded in the Library of Congress, and many of them, as we found, are actually available on iTunes by various artists. But as he said, there is a lot of variation in there.
Thanks, Maggie.